It is Saturday night. I feel all right. Although, in terms of feeling how the night will go, I'm holding my breath. Tonight's going to be fun. Tonight is going to be fun. Already my overlay is bugging out. Refresh cache. There we go. Unless somebody bought some memberships before we went live, which I don't see. Okay. So yeah, so tonight, we're going to try and print ULTEM 1010 to be specific. A viewer of the channel sent me some printer chow of the expensive hot variety. It is, what is it, 3DX Tech, Thermomax, PEI, ULTEM 1010. We got 250 grams of this stuff. This will be the most expensive stuff. Let's be honest, probably going to end up in the garbage. We're going to try printing it. So, first thing, the filament. You need to dry it at 150 C for 4 hours. This doesn't go that hot. So it's been at 70 C since about 8 this morning. See how it goes. I could have put it in the oven, but I only have one oven and I use that for food and I'd rather not cross-contaminate. If I was serious about this, I'd probably get like a little toaster oven to do this maybe. But YOLO. That's the theme today. YOLO. As the great poets once said. We're going to try and print ULTEM, but we're not going to go crazy because what we're going to use, and let me just put this down. It's still running, by the way. It's going to come out of the dryer, go right into the dry box with a big old bag of desiccant. This is Toasty Boy. For those that haven't seen Toasty Boy before, hi, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, consider becoming a member. This is a Voron V1.8. We built this last year, I believe. And the purpose of Toasty Boy is a higher temp printer. It is not a high temp printer, but it's a higher temp. So I built it basically to enclose it, insulate it. Basically, it's for abrasives. I used it for abrasives. So CF nylon, CF polycarbonate, stuff that, while it does print fine in, these machines, it would, a little bit extra heat will benefit it. So I didn't really end up using it a lot because it turns out that these machines printed most of the stuff I was printing just fine. But we've done some upgrades, and by upgrades I mean, as Squidward would say, it's the future. It's all shiny and chrome now. So this is all insulated, and I'm going to try and keep it closed now because I've had it on for an hour. So the bed is 120 degrees right now. So it's all insulated with this stuff, which is Reflectex, which you can get a big old spool of this, roll, whatever this is. You can get a thing of this for like 30 bucks. It ain't expensive. Let's get the music going. And we went and I insulated the entire inside of the printer. It's reflective. It's basically bubble wrap with aluminum. Not the greatest R value, but it reflects. So the whole inside of this machine is lined with Reflectex and aluminum, silver aluminum, basically to reflect all the heat in. It's all sealed up. It's warm in there. And then what I also did is I did some modifications today. We got two fans. We got two 4020 blowers, and they are blowing air around. And you may be wondering, Taylor, air is bad. Air causes warp. Why are you moving air around inside your printer? It's convection oven. Basically, this printer doesn't have an extra heater. It's only got the bed and the hot end. And while the bed will be at 120 and the hot end will be hot, there's no chamber heater. So how do you make more heat? By using a fan. Because when you move the air around inside the chamber, normally your heater turns on, heats the object to a temperature, and then it pulses. So it'll turn on, it'll turn off. So when you look at your temperature graph, if you zoom in, it does a little wave. Now, if you have a good PID tune, it's a very flat wave, but there still is a little wave. So when you look at your temperature, it'll go up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. So if you don't have any air moving inside your printer, it'll get to its temperature and it'll just sit there. and the heater will just keep it at temperature. But if you start circulating that air around, well, then the heater's got to work more because you have cooler air moving by your bed. Well, now it's got to heat up more. So the bed stays at whatever temperature, but the heater is on more. And since the air is moving around, it's cycling that air. It's a convection oven, basically. So you're pumping more heat into the system. So yes, we are moving air, but we're not moving a ton of air. I just got 2 fans in the back, basically just blowing up and sucking from the front. So hopefully it'll be a big convection oven. And I don't know if it'll work, but the numbers are a little bit better than I got before. So we'll see. We'll see. So right now it's reading like 60, but I don't have it as close to the bed as we did before. And the hot end's not even on. And the hot end's gonna run hot. So I have no idea if this is gonna work. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Oh, you are not a dog. What are you doing down here? What? You want to say goodnight? You say goodnight. I'm supposed to be in bed right now. Can you say I'm supposed to be in bed right now? Yeah, I know, bed right now. You're supposed to be sleeping. Why are you down here? You don't know? Okay, you gotta go to bed. Okay? Hugs? Okay, yep, that's you. Okay. Hey. Mwah. Okay. Good night. Okay, BF Dennis gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers. I thought that was a dog first. How warm is it? Last time we tested, we got the chamber to around 65°C, but that wasn't a full-on test. Basically, we just parked the hot end 100 millimeters above the bed, and we just read what the bed or the hot end thermistor read after leaving the bed at 120 for a bit. I don't have an actual chamber thermistor. I probably should get one, but I completely forgot about it, so it is what it is. Yeah. So let's catch up on chat. I didn't check chat. Okay. Let's check chat. Luck for the Ultem. I'm gonna need it. Now for the bed, because I'm assuming printing Ultem directly on PI would probably not be a good idea because they probably stick together a little too well. We are going to be using some stuff that I've been trying for a bit directly on spring steel. So this is just spring steel, and it's got a little something on it. I have no idea if it'll work. I don't have any Vision Miner stuff, which is, I guess, the recommended stuff. But we're just kind of YOLO this. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. So the recommended temperatures is, what does it say? 370 to 390 for the hot end. We're gonna go 380, split the diff. For the bed, it recommends 120 to 160. So our problem is I've got a thermal fuse in the bed. The bed will go pop if I push it to, I think it's a 135 fuse. Now it is attached with gasket sealant, so I probably could push it a little bit higher, but I'll pop the fuse. So I'm gonna set it for 120 and we're just gonna pray, basically. We're just gonna, to the ABS gods, the gods of layer adhesion, bed adhesion, and hello, Calvin. Little guy's figured out he could talk through the air vents. DFH gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers. I printed CF nylon on an Ender 3 Max, no enclosure. This is a whole nother beast. So let's get a slicer profile built up. At a 125, pop at 117. You have to remember, the fuse is not mounted where the thermistor is. So if your bed has a hot spot and it's by the fuse, the thermistor is in the middle of the bed. So it's reading the temperature right here. Over here can be a little different. Yeah, ULTEM is not like CF nylon. No. So toasty. Okay. And as for what we are printing, I'm not pushing my luck off the bat. So we are going to print the CNC kitchen test hook because it's simple and it will kind of give us what we need to know. And what we need to know is if this will even bloody work. If this does work, I will move on to doing some actual parts potentially for the Death Racer, because we printed some motor brackets yesterday, and these were out of PCCF on the Revo Obsidian. It was the first time I've actually printed abrasives on a Revo, and it worked pretty good, although the filament's wet, so parts kind of turned out a little poopy, but it is what it is. No Benchy. I honestly think Benchy will be pushing it. I honestly think Benchy will be pushing this. Okay, so perimeters 3, 4 top, 4 bottom. Sure. It's got a 0.4 nozzle, 0.2 layer height, infill. We're just gonna do grid. Skirt and brim. No loops. Actually, no, skirt and brim. I want some loops. I want some loops. We gotta get the filament flowing. Speed. We's going slow. 45 for perimeters, 30. Infill speed, 45. We're not going fast with this. I don't think you can go fast with this. Like I've never printed this, so I have no idea how fast you can go and what is safe for this stuff. Travel we'll leave at 300. We'll leave the Excels pretty marginal there. Width and flow, we're just gonna leave it right at 0.4 across the board. Okay, slow and hot. Yep, filament settings. First layer, 380. Other layers, 380. Bed, 120. 120. Filament type. I don't know, do I have ULTEM on my list here? I don't have ULTEM. Oh well. Cooling, none. No cooling. I don't know if layer time plays into it. Printer settings. So this is just that. I don't think I need to fiddle with that. I don't understand the purpose of this unless you need a commercial. Somebody sent me a spool of ULTEM. He wants me to try to print it. So we're going to try and print it. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. People have been asking, can you print ULTEM Peak and all the other fancy super high temp aerospace grade filaments on a Voron? For all intents and purposes, this is a normal Voron. It's a V1.8. It's got high temp belts. It's got insulation. It's got a mosquito with a nozzle X and a 60 watt heater cartridge and a PT1000. None of those things are fancy. This is a normal printer, and we're going to try ULTEM, and we're going to see what happens, because people ask about this all the time. So this is going to be a learning experience for everyone. Plus, again, somebody sent me this to try it out. I want to try it out. I figure we'll do it live. ULTEM Death Racer. I'm going to, if for whatever reason this actually works, and I'm not holding out much hope, I'm going to try and print some of like the gears for the Death Racer in it. So just send it. Pretty much. I got my internal and external speeds backwards. Did I? Internal. Oh, no, I did. Yeah. External. Okay. So this is Toasty ULTEM. Filament settings. Toasty ULTEM. Okay. So we got no fan. Okay. No fan. Printer settings, I shouldn't have to modify. Speed settings, okay. Slice. So if this goes well, this will be a, ooh, what's going on? Did I push something? Dang it, I made it multicolor. How do you disable that? What did I do? What did I... Whatever. Why did I do a color change? Don't do a color change. Why are you doing a color change? Print mode, single extruder. There. Whatever. Export G code. Toasty hook. Okay. So the filament, I honestly should be printing from my dry box or from my dryer, but unfortunately I can't. I tried like jury rigging a setup with a DIY Lazy Susan. It didn't work too good. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, we're gonna basically take the filament directly out of the dryer into my dry box with a big old bag of desiccant, and we're gonna feed it into the printer, and whatever happens, happens. So how am I gonna put this? Where am I even gonna put this at? I gotta kind of put the printer over here. Oh wow, this frame is getting hot. That'll go there, and that'll feed into there. Okay. So, yeah. Ooh, even this is hot. Have you removed the sock from the mosquito? Yes. Okay. Oh, hey, we got some filament in there already. Okay. Big old bag of desiccant that's also been drying. That goes in there. Got an overhead cam. Filament. Well, okay, ready? I'm going to snip the end. There goes $20. Now it's funny because we do have somebody on the Voron team that actually does print this kind of stuff regularly, and they're trying to like offer me tips and whatnot, and I'm like, I want to say yes, but I want to say no, because I really want to YOLO it and basically go like, no, we're just gonna, whatever happens happens with this. I don't even know if... Did I even set my Z offset on this machine? So the extruder is a LGX. It does have a mosquito, and it's a first gen mosquito. And there goes another $20. There we go. Is that loaded in all the way? Yeah, that's loaded in all the way. Okay. Okay. It's loaded. I have no idea if I even have the my bed offset set. We'll find out. Upload and print. Uploading test hook. Again, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Use some Captain tape. You know what? Captain tape might be good for this use case, for the bed. Unfortunately, I only have like the thin Captain tape. I don't got the big strips of it. So. Now, I do have a camera inside the machine. And then when we do get to... Oh, I got a lighter. When we do get to printing, I'm going to try and get something set up here for you guys so you can kind of see inside the machine. I know what I'll use. I will use my boxes of filament from Polymaker. They make some fine filament. If you would like some Polymaker filament yourself, there's a link in the description of this video where you can enter for a draw for your chance to win some. Not only are they good for holding your cameras, it's also good printer food. Here we go. This is so ghetto. This is the quality of content you come to this channel for. This is a weird way of applying the PI sheet to your bed. Just print one full layer of PI directly on your spring steel. Okay. What's the chamber at? I don't know. I don't have a chamber thermistor. The hot end was reading 65 before we started. Now I can't see. I'm watching the, that. Okay, for some reason it's not exactly probing right. Why aren't you actually doing your thing? Try one more time. Why did you move? There we go. Okay. Wow. Price of the filament? I think it's $80 American for the spool. It's 250 grams too. ULTEM isn't cheap. Peak isn't cheap. All these fancy... Oh. Whoa. Wait, what? 1 second. Stop. Pause. Pause. Where's cancel print? Cancel print. Where is cancel print? Pause. My spring steel bowed like a mofo. 1 second. don't have any gloves in here. Spring steel is not sitting flat. Why are you? Yeah. Spring steel taco. Yeah, I have it flipped upside down, so I have the PEI facing down, so it doesn't like stick as good. There you go. Okay, so let me heat you back up. 120C. Yeah, that's why it was taking so long to... Okay, you know what? That PEI was dead anyways. Like, it was... That PEI was totally end of life. So we're going to have to reset our offset, unfortunately. And I don't think I actually have any spare blank spring steel. I thought I had some. So I was going to use one. Yeah, I don't. Shoot. I could have sworn I had a blank spring steel sheet. But alas, I do not. So how are we going to do this? Because I don't want to put that directly on it. So let's start. It is what it is. Should have did this before stream. I was gonna do it before stream, but I forgot. Came down here and I'm like, oh wait, shoot. Probably should have did that before. Yeah, do I have any? I've got a ton of spring steel sheets. Let me see. Are any of these blank? Nope, nope, nope. Those all got PI on them. Yeah, all these are double-sided. Ooh, actually, nope. Yeah, those are all double-sided. Oh wait. No, even this one. Maybe this one sticks better. Let's try this one. You know what? I'm going to put the adhesion helper on it. And hopefully it doesn't stick too well to the PI. If it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. Yeah, spring steel doesn't hold the heat for long. Like, you can pull it. It sucks pulling it out of the printer, but just like flap it in the air for a little bit and you're good. Oh, I was using this on the whatchamacallit, the bamboo. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Oh yeah, that holds a lot better. Okay, try again. Jobs, toasty hook. Let's try it again. Gotta try it. Nope, it's a V1.8. It's the model before Trident. Yeah, so this spring steel here, I'll get the I'll do the bathtub trick with the dishwasher pod and clean it up. Everything's heating back up. Try again. Don't forget to reset the offset. We'll find out. I'll just tune it live. That's why I like doing the whatchamacallit, the loops at the beginning of a print, because that way, if you got to adjust your Z offset, you have time to do it before it actually starts with the print. skirt. Potato, potato. Can you read the PT? Yep, this is a PT1000's plugged directly into the board. It's the PT100 that you need an amplifier board. I'm pretty sure most modern controller boards you can plug a PT1000 directly into. Clicky plus auto. Everyone keeps recommending it, but I haven't used it yet, and I haven't really had an issue for it because pretty much all my machines use the same spring seal. I don't switch them around. There we go. Okay, now it actually homed the bed in like one loop instead of like a million. When is that bed adhesive going to be available? I don't know. I don't even know if it works for this. I've been using it for ABS and PLA. Okay, so now we're heating to 380. I'll get the camera set up once we actually start printing. Because where's my offsets? There we go. Just in case I gotta adjust it. Yeah, I'll get a camera set up once I can do this one. No, that's Prusicam. Actually, nope. I can do that. For now. $340. Let's get hot. 200-ish. Well, here's the thing. If I was serious about printing this high temp stuff, I would build a dedicated high temp printer. Like, this isn't a dedicated high temp printer. This is a higher temp printer, as I like to say. So I built this basically for nylons and polycarbonates, right? I have a dry box next to it. It's meant for that stuff and abrasives. It's smoking. 380. Oh, it is smoking. Helmet has paint. Show it off. I showed it off yesterday. I did finish. I got the paint done on one of the earpieces though. So there's one of the ear thingies. I gotta weather it, do the black wash on it. But there's one of the earpieces. But I gotta actually do some fixing because I'm mounting it on the other side than what it's designed for. Okay, shoot, I can't see if it's extruding. Oh, I gotta go up. Way up. I can't see anything. Frick it. Okay, one second here. Pause. Woo! Yeah, that was my offset's off. There we go. That is hot. That is hot. Where is my scissors? Okay, 1 second here. Try this again. It's smoking like crazy because there was still ABS in it and it was not working right. Okay. Let's try this again. Print the test hook. Isn't it the same as 140? Oh, I know. I know. Believe me, I know. The filament is actually a little wet. I know it is. But I only have the one oven in my house, so we're making do. Is what it is. Am I going to build a printer for this kind of stuff? I have no plans to, because I'm not going to buy $400 spools of filament that often. And I don't really have a need for this kind of stuff because my normal materials of ABS, nylon, polycarbonate when I need it, work just fine for everything I'm doing. So it's kind of massively overkill for me to build a specific machine. But the whole point of doing this is to show you how hard it is to actually print this stuff on a not specific machine. Because people ask all the time, can I print this on a normal machine? Can I print this on my Voron? What do I need to do this? And, well, I'm showing you now, it ain't exactly easy. What nozzle? Nozzle X, I think. I think it's a Nozzle X. Death Racer parts. If we can get it working, we'll do some Death Racer parts, but again, okay, did I miss a super chat or something? It's saying my chat revenue so far for the stream is 15 cents. Did somebody super chat 15 cents? Oh, Thomas! There you go. Price of the filament. Yeah, okay, so 20 ARS, whatever that is. PTFE lined hot end. No. ULTEM-ate. Why dual MGN9? Why not? Because that was the design spec for this machine, along with the V2.4 for a while. Yeah, my Z offset was a little low on this machine. And by a little, I mean quite a lot. I don't know why. I didn't think this spring steel sheet was much thicker than the other spring steel sheet. I was figuring it was within like... Why is the only Benji's Discord link broken? Is it? Still so low. Why are you still so low? Oh my god, why are you so low? Okay, now you're way too high. Oh, okay, well it's printing now. Bleh. Is my hot end melting? Dustin, $20. Cheers. We can support you with your crazy antics so we don't break our own stuff. There you go. I'm hoping my hot end ain't melting. That would be really bad. But it's printing. It's actually printing. I need to get this a little bit higher. One more box of Polymaker filament. Which again, if you want to win some of your own, link in the description. How fast is that? Not fast. Let's yeah, that's failing. Okay, so let me pause. Try again. Cancel. Are you sure? Yes. Jobs. We have successfully printed ULTEM on a Voron. It can be done. It can be done. Where's my first layer size? I gotta drop my first layer speeds down. Way down. Can be done. Look at that. Look at that. We have successfully printed ULTEM on a Voron. It's under extruding. More like the Z offset was completely euchred. Tagley gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers. And Duncan, thanks for all the content. Cheers. And Craig, thank you for all your great content. I guess this is great content. Get some Polymaker filament, link in the description. Probe a BL touch? No, it's just a probe is a probe. Oh my god, everything's so hot in here. Wow, that's a chunk out of that. Well, this PI's bricked. I will say, this is probably the strongest, horribly unfinished first layer print I've ever printed. It actually... Okay, it's not that strong. But is the helmet STL? Yes, it's Galactic Armory. I got the whole set. I'm doing the whole set of heavy Mandalorian armor, although I've swapped out some of the parts. The chest piece from Galactic Armory assumes I have like a Barbie body, where like, I got the dad bod, and it assumes my waist is like I'm wearing a corset. Like, I have no idea how you're supposed to actually, what model that chest piece is designed for. So hopefully my Z offset actually stays this time. Frick it. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. Skinny 12-year-old. Could a hobbyist like us do what is called yak shape? I have no idea what that is. For now. Will I purge filament? Yeah, I'll run like some ABS through it at the end just to we printing? I can't see what the hell is going on there. Are we too low? Are we too high? I have no idea what's going on. I can't see a damn thing. Whatever. Just gonna let it go for a bit. Whatever we get, we get. Dagley, $10. Cheers, Dad bought fun. But yeah, the so a lot of the parts I've reprinted. The chest piece is actually from a different set than the Galactic Armory set. That doesn't hug my waist as much. The blaster obviously is a different one. I'm just gonna let it go and see what we get. Just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna let it print until it comes off the bed, and whatever we get, we get. It's an abomination unto the Lord. What's your end goal with printing an Ultem? I have no... There are no plans here. That somebody sent me a spool of Ultem and said print it, and now we are printing it. That is the end goal, is to get something that doesn't look like poop. We're printing a lot of poop today. Taking out printing over is asking for failure. Cheers. Yeah, we gotta go slow. You know what? Pause. I'm gonna reslice this with a lower, some slower speeds. It's coming off the bed pretty well, I will say. Hi. That was printing. Printing like ass. But that was printing. Okay. 25. Okay, yeah. So let's... Our first layer, we'll drop the first layer down to like 10 to 15 millimeters. And... We're just gonna go slow. We're just gonna go slow. $25 mil. Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna go slow. YOLO. Trying to watch someone cook barbecue. What did I miss? A lot of messes. Well, good luck on the Ultem trials. Yeah, like literally, I know this isn't gonna work. Like if we get one successful print out of this tonight, I will be beyond ecstatic. We're trying to print Ultem on a printer that is not meant to print Ultem, and I'm showing you guys how hard this shit is to print, so you'll stop asking about printing it on your Enders. Like, we've already probably wasted, like, literally a good chunk of money worth of Ultem. Extruder temps, 380. Yeah, if you're curious about the helmet, I gotta paint, I'm painting these blue. I need to put another thing of blue in there. That's dry. And then I got the earpieces. So this is supposed to be this side. The thing is, I want to put something on this side so I get the drop. I want to do the Boba Fett thing, because Boba Fett has the thing that comes down. On this armor, it just has like one mounted here with like a little radar thing on top. I don't like that. I want the flip down thingy. So I'm moving this one to the other side. The problem is there was like some battle damage on the armor that I filled in. But apparently, like, when they designed it, they designed the battle damage opposite side onto this, on the mating half. So I have to like file away some stock on the inside of here so that it'll actually sit flush to that. But as you can see, it's actually starting to look pretty good. I still got to wash this to do the, I got to do the black wash on this for weathering. But it's starting to come along pretty good. It's getting there. The visor in here is not the actual visor. This I bought, it's the wrong one. It's way too dark. I can't see shit. So this is just like held in with like blue tape for now, just so I can see. But it's getting there. It's getting there. There's a lot of pieces. I haven't done any of like the leg stuff at all. What am I using for the adhesive on the helmet? E6000. How well does it fit? It fits fine. Actually, let's wait till the print starts. The print is starting. So we'll let the print start and then we'll But yeah, so I got to figure out how to it's a rangefinder. Yeah, but I want the flip down one. I want a flip down one because I think it's cooler. So I got to figure out how to model one because again, I can't CAD out of a cardboard box. So if anyone on the Voron Discord or on the Only Benchy Discord wants to offer some help when it comes to, oh, that's a good first layer. Get this little blinky piece out of there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. Is my case fans on? Convection fans are on. Oh wow. Oh, that's a clean layer there. Oh my god, that's so clean. My lights just flickered. Okay, so in terms of the helmet, how it fits fine. So the visor, because it's not properly melted and like squished in, or it pushes on my nose. But there's how the helmet fits. So like, I literally, it is like size for my face, which I guess is what you want. You don't want it being too big. It looks a little out of proportion, namely for the fact that I don't have anything else on. But let's see here. Where did I put them? Yeah. So just to put it kind of more into perspective, I'm printing at wood fire pizza temps. I know. So got the helmet on. Okay. But then once you add some shoulder pads, which these obviously will not be held on by me holding them. They're gonna fall. It kind of, I can't even see what I'm looking at right now, by the way. It should balance out more, I think. I'm trying not to move because they're gonna fall. So somebody like screen capture this and put it on the Discord because I can't even see what I'm looking at. There we go. But yeah, the whole point of the armor and why I'm doing the heavy Mando, I can't see anything. Like this is the problem. Star Wars is fantasy with sci-fi. It's fantasy and sci-fi, right? It's not supposed to make sense. You're not supposed to take it seriously. But the problem is, I look at people with blasters and armor, and the armor covers this little bit, and like a little bit there, and a little bit on their knee. And I'm like, no, dude, more armor. So I'm doing the heavy Mando because it's got a crap ton of armor, and it's a lot of armor pieces. So I'm doing full armor, head to toe, as much as I can, hard armor, because I don't want to be shot with a blaster. So yeah. Need a voice distorter. I don't even know how I sound with the helmet on. Yeah, it's looking okay, I guess. Okay. Oh my God, you can feel the heat when you open that up. Why the different pattern? Because that's what it is. So for those that don't know what it is, it's if you watch The Mandalorian, the armor is based off of a character called Paz Vizsla. Let me find it here. Yeah, here we go. So this is the actual, all the printed armor pieces, okay? I'm not doing the chain gun. Instead, I'm doing... I'm doing this blaster. So I'm doing this blaster, which I've already built. I gotta paint it still. This armor set, I've changed out the chest piece for another variant of this armor from another designer. It fits me a bit better. And I might change out like one of the wrist gauntlets, I think. But see, he's got the little rangefinder there. I want to flip down one over my right eye, so I gotta flip it around. And if you don't know who the character actually is, this is the character from The Mandalorian that the armor is based on. So his armor, he's got different style. So it isn't a one-to-one copy. Like if you look on this armor, the ridge here just kind of stops there. On this one, it's got like a ridge around the whole thing. So it's not a one-to-one copy, which is good. I'd rather not it be a one-to-one because I'm not trying to make I'm not trying to make this character. As you can see, it's red and silver. I'm doing my own thing. So.
No, where to?
Yeah, where to? First layer isn't sticking? What do you mean? It's sticking. It ain't going anywhere. Is the extruder skipping? I don't know. I can't see. Doesn't seem to be. Actually, I don't know. It's printing. It sounds like it's skipping, but I don't know what it's skipping on. There's like a piece of there's like a glob in there. Here, let me pause it and get that out. I can't get it out. I can't get it out. Whatever. It's under the freaking hot end. Resume. Any updates on the bamboo? I haven't printed with it since I got back from the vacation. I gotta start printing a bunch of parts this week. It's fine. Same as it was last time. It's a good Core XY commercial machine. If you want a Core XY that's fast and you don't want to, you know, if you're okay with never modding it or anything, it ain't bad. But the hot end is flexing. I don't know how you guys could see that. It's got Z hop on, so the bed is moving. It's got Z hop, so. Yeah, we're just gonna let it print for a while. Saw the lower and upper half of the tool head separate a few times? What do you mean? Separate. I'm watching the same camera you guys are, so I can see what the heck you guys are talking about. Flare height, 0.2. Yeah, I got fans under the bed, so we are doing some convection. It's got a mosquito. It's extruding. It is extruding. It's only on the second layer, guys. Too fast. It's only printing at 25 millimeters a second. The only fast movements you see are travels. See on a thermal camera. Yeah, I wish I had a thermal camera. I do not. So unfortunately we can't get any cool thermal camera views, but that's some stinky. No, it's printing. It's printing, guys. So let's save these ULTEM prints. This flex plate I'm gonna have to put in the dishwasher. Get that cleaned up. Thermal camera can't see. Yeah, I'd have to open up the front door for you to see that. Like, you guys, I'm also watching from this angle here, which is probably a better angle. It's just I can't do a full view of it. Let's see if this works. Honestly, I just want to get a hook out of it. Something that we can go, hey, this is ULTEM, it printed. Wonder how much it would cost to print a Voron. Well, you need 3 kilograms of material to build a Voron. Technically, you can get by with, I think 2 for the functional stuff if you print it all one color. So, ULTEM 1010. So 2 kilograms of this stuff is $390. This spool is $68. Again, I did not pay for this. Somebody sent it to me. They wanted me to try printing it, so we're trying to print it. It is what it is. One little piece of... It is printing. It just, there's like blobs. There you go, blob. Go away. No, don't stick to the hot end. You stuck to the hot end. Just come off. Pop off. There's a stupid little blob that's like hanging out on the hot end. What is the bed made out of? Hopes and dreams, and spring steel and PI with a lot of bed adhesion on top of it, so that it hopefully doesn't stick to the PI. Which, so far, the stuff has come off just fine, so. The extruder is making the occasional chug noise, but it is extruding. And this stuff is relatively slippery, like it feeds through the Bowden tube just fine. It's bumping on something. Yeah, well the problem is there's like little stringy bits that are like, yeah, you can see it there. There's like that one. Oh. Here. One second. Where's my pause? Pause. Ah. You probably shouldn't do that when you're printing ULTEM. But yeah, there's like little... That's hot. Ooh, that is yeah. Print head melted? I hope not. I'm keeping an eye on it. Lower the extrusion multiplier. Okay. Flow. Let's drop the flow to 95%. Yeah, the tool head's bumping on it. That's what it is. Because this stuff is really hard and it keeps bumping on the little bumps. So I got Z-hop on, luckily. No, the filament's not stiff. The filament's actually pretty flexible. Oh yeah, it's probably bumping. Every time it bumps on something, the tool head's probably moving up. It's okay. Don't worry, once we get past the first few layers and we get to infill, it'll probably be better because all the gunk will just fall into it. So we gotta wait for layer 1 mil. And we are at not that. This is not looking good. I know it looks bad. Again, we're trying ULTEM on a machine not meant for ULTEM. Don't you see this? Yeah. Do I have 3 monitors in front of me. 2 of them have video of different angles of the print. And then I also have the printer right here. Yes, I see it. I know it's failing horribly. I like watching train wrecks. No, first layer wasn't too close. Need a nozzle cam. Nozzle cam probably wouldn't last too long in this condition. I'm wondering if, because it is printing, it's just that top layer is looking a little crappy. Yeah, whatever. Let it go for a bit. No, it hasn't lifted yet. It has not lifted yet. It's the camera. Yeah, this is a learning. This is what happens when you try to print stuff on a machine that's not meant to print it. And we're just having fun. Like, if anyone here is taking this super seriously and you have a notepad out and you're taking down notes on how to print ULTEM on your Voron, you're doing it wrong. Speaking of doing it wrong, cancel. Mission failed. We'll get him next time. Okay. Guys, I can't get my filament out. Why isn't the filament coming out, guys? I can't get the filament out. Filament ain't coming out, guys. We gotta heat it back up. 380. Go. There's our hook. There's our hook. So see, it does print. Okay. We're not on Twitch, so I can't give points or anything. What failed? What failed? Who can tell me what failed? Who can tell me what failed? Actually, a few people are getting it right. Yeah, the heat sets. Heat sets pulled right out. Wow, I can't. Valent, 89.99 fail bonus. Not supposed to work that way, but. Okay, so let's get you off here. Holy shit. Why can't I get the filament out of here? Oh, it's... There we go. Okay, filament's out. Filament's out. Turn off the hot end. Gary gifted a community membership. Cheers. Okay, hot end's off. All the fans are on. We're gonna let this cool down for a bit. Yeah, the heat set's pulled right out. So we're gonna let it cool down and then we'll take a look at it. Time for aluminum, yeah. Oh, I can't really purge because the entire assembly isn't stable. Literally, the only thing holding this on is the filament here. The little piece of filament. Okay. For the hinge here is the only thing holding the hot end on. That is the only thing holding the hot end on right now. Is whatever piece of, and you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Is it? I think it's PETG. Because it's blue, and I think it's the little piece of blue PETG I had on hand. Yeah, that's the only thing holding the hot end on right now. Oh man, that is cooked. That is cooked. 240. We're gonna let it cool down. I guess you have an excuse to rebuild. Yeah, I didn't plan on rebuilding this tool head. It was gonna just be lazy and just leave it because Stealth Burner has more part cooling. I don't need part cooling in this machine, so I was gonna be lazy. Plus, it's running a mosquito, so I gotta run the afterburner. Actually, this is CF polycarbonate. This is PCCF. The carriage that the heat set's pulled out of is PCCF. What's I'm going to be really interesting is how well this mount held up, because this mount is CF nylon, and I printed this mount a long time ago in CF nylon. I'll just heat it up and purge it after. Like, it's not mounted. I can't purge it because there's nothing to, like... Silicone socks are only rated to 300. Can't go higher than that. Good luck cleaning it. Fine, I'll purge it. Oh my god, all you guys are gonna purge it. Okay, put that in there. Get some ABS. No, that's in the machine. I have some ABS. There you go, some KVP. Okay. Good old KVP. I gotta heat it back up again. Put some filament in it. Put the filament in the machine. Oops. There we go. Okay. Like that. As it cools, it crystalline, you can lose the mosquito entirely. Fine, I'll purge it. I do have an extra mosquito. Like, Peak is the one you gotta watch out for? Okay. No cleaning filament? Why would I buy cleaning filament? I have never used cleaning filament in my 5 years of fiddling with 3D printers. Why would I get cleaning filament? Fan in a pole configuration. I don't know. I'll have to talk to the guy who actually prints this stuff. It ripped them right out too. 3-bolt it. Ah. Yeah, clean filament just polypro. Like, I just use ABS to purge. Like, when I worked in a tool shop and we had injection molds, they would just run like old ABS through it, like just whatever they had around to purge it. Did any other printed parts? I don't know. Nothing on, none of this did. This stuff's all fine. This is all PCCF and PC nylon. So none of that deformed. It's all rated for, like, the chamber doesn't get above 100 at all. So I'm not concerned about the chamber. Okay. There's some overcooked ABS. Oh wow, you really got to hold it. You can feel the force. I'm just gonna keep running filament through it to cool it down too. Use it as a heat sink. It's funny. It's funny watching it go back to its like normal temperature. Like when you 380, it's all bubbly and like shit, but then it's fine. There we go. There we go. I got the ULTEM-ate. So, needless to say, we won't be needing this for the rest of the day. Sent you a message in Discord thinking you know what you're looking for. Okay, I'll take a look after the stream. Yeah. That's a fancy looking spool. For an $80 spool of filament, it better be fancy. Yeah, the two fans at the bottom are for air circulation. All they do is just move air around the chamber to get higher chamber temps. Yeah, so there you go. Now when people ask about printing ABS or ULTEM-ate Voron, show them this stream and show the tool head printed out of polycarbonate and carbon fiber nylon, completely failing horribly. By the way, these airlock bags are awesome. I don't know if they still make them, but they sent me these years ago, and they're great for this kind of stuff. Cheers from the DFH crew. Anniversary. Happy anniversary. Merry Christmas, Matt Shammy. Thanks for the 5. KB3D. GG Toast. Oh, yeah, it's GG. No re. Alright, so let's see here. Oh man, I can't believe how bad this went. So the print head failed. Yep, print head failed. Toasty 2021 to 2022. No silicone. Oh, I forgot to put silicone in the bag. 1 second. Shoot. Silicone in. Oh, here's another one. There we go. I just keep these on the ground. That's why we can't have nice things. Exactly. We're just waiting for it to get down to room temperature so we can actually take it apart and handle it. Silica won't help. The PI will dry it. Actually, you're right. Yeah, the PI will suck the moisture out of the silica. PI, like, ULTEM is, if I'm not mistaken, and let me pull it up so that I'm saying it right here. Okay, ULTEM 1010 is PEI resin made by Sabic. ULTEM 1010 is the brand name of their PEI resin. So this is PEI. We're printing with PEI, essentially. Like, this stuff you have to dry every time you use it, so... But this will just kind of, hopefully, help it a little bit until the next time we use it. What the heck is this a spool of? XT320. Oh, that stuff was a... I tried using... XT320, I tried that shit, and it just did not print good. Ultimate fail. Yep. So, you guys are curious. It's the current, how's it going? How's it going, mate? What we do now? I don't know. I'm waiting for it to cool so we could do a proper post-mortem. No water ball? I got my water ball. But I can't say what water ball it is because they sponsor people. It's a belt printer now. We're already on the 45-degree angle. What happened? This happened. Would like an aluminum. Yeah, well, an aluminum carriage might be kind of nice right about now. Mad Shammy did the care package. What did you send me again? I'm sorry, I'm like completely, I'm horrible with names. If you sent me the PT100, it came fine. Oh shit, I have whiskey. I have whiskey too. I might go get some while we wait for this to cool. I'll be back. Where are we size? Nope. Pour one out for my homie. Hey Steve, welcome to the show. You missed the fun. Toasty is toasty. Toasty is toasty. Oh, you've been here all along? Okay. Steve didn't miss the show. Okay then. Cheers. Okay. I touch that. Yeah. So. Disconnect these first. So, this is fine. This part, it is fine. There's like no deformation. Tool head not moving or anything. Heck, even the ducts aren't even melted. And mosquitoes melt these ducts like no tomorrow. And by the way, this tool head, I didn't print this for this machine. This is the tool head that I used for my mosquito when it was mounted in this machine. It's been a while since this machine ran a Revo. Or ran a mosquito. Actually, it was when I got my Revo beta. This came out. Or actually, yeah. Yeah, so this mount is like a 2-year-old mount. And I think the reason the ducts aren't melted is they're like the original ducts that were further away and they didn't do as much cooling. But the problem you could see here, and what I think killed it, is, focus you. These screws are right next to the heater block and they're exposed. So I'm pretty sure the heat transferred from this block into the screws and then into the heat sets and just ripped them right out. Because those holes are looking mighty euchred. Yeah. Probe looks fine. Probe's a little loose, but probe is alive. I'm trying to figure out what this white powder is. But yeah, so I need a new carriage mount for sure. Carriage mount's solid. Yeah. Mosquito's fine. This is fine. This part right here is fine. So yeah, the mosquito's fine. Nozzle's fine. A little gummed up, but it's gonna be a bitch to clean it. But yeah, I don't know. Just use zip ties. Well, we'll get some 2-part epoxy, and we'll just take this, and we'll just kind of put that in there. There we go. Good to go. We'll just take this one. There we go. There we go. Good to go. Good to go. We're good. How hot? 380 on the nozzle. But Skeeter, what I'm thinking is you can see the mounting screws are right next to that big old block. And one thing I don't like about the Mosquito is it's a fat block. It's wide, so it transfers a lot of heat to the sides. So I'm assuming the heat got into the screws, which got into the heat sets, which just they pulled right out. Acetone. No, this is this carriage here is PCCF. It's carbon fiber polycarbonate. And it is cooked. It is cooked. Yep. So is this PI as well. Used to be metal. Well, really when you're pushing these temperatures, you really should have a metal mount. Part of what this whole stream today was showing you what happens when you try to print Ultem on a normal printer. Prints look like poop, and your machine falls apart. The head melted off? Yeah, the heat set's pulled right out. The heat set's like literally pulled right out. Did it fail? We got we got a few prints, but they're just like first couple layers. Like this right here is the closest thing we got to an actual print. And this is like 2 or 3 layers. So this is the closest thing to an actual Ultem print we got off of the machine. C'est la vie. So, as a noted historian once said, well, the front fell off. It's not supposed to, obviously, but it did. Now, this isn't a normal occurrence, but it can happen. So, Ooh, somebody made a GIF. I gotta find... Somebody clip it. They sent me a message on Discord. I'll check it after the stream. We got like 20 different windows open and all this stuff is muted when I'm streaming. Well, there's your problem. I get that quote. Yeah, the front fell off. So the mosquito worked fine. The problem is the mosquito is literally like 3 millimeters away from screws that transfer the heat into a heat set. So, can the X1 print Ultem? Technically it can. It's an all metal hot end. Does it get hot enough to actually print it successfully? No. Another stealth burner. No, I'm gonna stick with the afterburner in this one because I'm using a mosquito in this machine. And I don't need better cooling. And it's got an LGX, so I don't need to upgrade the extruder. Would titanium screws help? They actually probably would. It's heat transfer. Heat transfer is the problem. And they're right there. Because I think even the stealth burner has screws in roughly the same spot. So 3 hours in it would fail. We're not even. We're an hour and a half into the stream. I want a mosquito on my stealth burner. I can't CAD myself out of a cardboard box, so you need to find somebody who can CAD. The stealth burner CAD is out there. I'm sure somebody will mod it. Just wait for a community mod if you want it. But in terms of like making the team, I can't do that because it's all people design what they want to design for. So the problem is on the stealth burner is actually designed with Revo in mind. So it works with other hot ends, obviously. It supports like Dragon and whatnot, but it's designed with the Revo in mind. So the Revo is a very narrow package. You can get the ducts in nice and close. The problem is the mosquito is a fat chunky boy and it directs a lot of heat out the side. So the problem is you'd have to redesign the whole duct system as well, because if it melts ducts on afterburners, it would completely melt the ducts on a stealth burner. But on other hot ends, it's not an issue, because other hot ends is V6 style blocks with their front to back longer, or a Revo, which is super compact. So why can't they turn the block sideways? Well, then the fan would need to come sideways because of the way the mosquito is. I don't think you can you turn the block sideways on a mosquito? No, because it's offset too, so you would still be close on one side. Duck season. Oh, somebody made a clip of it. Let me find the clip. It's just me laughing. Where's the audio? Where's the actual failure at? Someone want to clip the oh shit when I realized that it was failing. That was funny. That's a fun failure. Are you in the Revo Harzen? Yeah, I got obsidians in both these machines. We did some printing on it yesterday. Polycarbonate, CF polycarbonate off of Revo obsidian. Fortunately, the filament was actually a little bit wet, unfortunately, out of the bag. So it left some stringies that I'm gonna have to clean up on the inside. But the actual part, pretty good. And it's not beta. They're production ready. It's the influencer people got some. This is my best stream yet. Well, we're halfway in. We're already hitting the liquor, so. What's wrong with Rapido? I have a Rapido in Tallboy. Yeah, Tallboy has a Rapido. It's fine. I think it does. No, it doesn't use proprietary. Yeah, I got a Rapido with a 0.6 CHT in Tallboy, and it works fine. I just don't use Tallboy a lot. High temp duct tape. I probably could zip tie it. What is it? Use to melt your printer. Move on to the next printer. Yeah, let's just shove the Ultem in another machine and see how it goes. Peak screws, aluminum tape. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, by the way, Lightspeed, if you're still in chat, there you go. Thingiverse stealth burner for Mosquito. There are mods of it already. No warranty for how your ducks will survive, but if you want to have a go at it, there you go. Unbox the Pantheon. I don't have a Pantheon. I did buy something from Pantheon. I bought their shirt because it's the only thing I can afford from Pantheon. So I do have a Pantheon shirt. Filament in my beard. Gonna need a metal. Yeah, if the carriage was a metal, this wouldn't be an issue. Well, that will work with the... No, that won't work with the... You'd have to use the beta. Because the final production just came out. Don't you have a silicone? No, silicone... Well, you can't have a sock when you're pushing those temperatures. What am I sipping on? Apparently it's got some filament in it. But JP Weisers. Should I go with a Rapido or a Revo? Currently have a V6 with Copperhead heat break. Okay, are you printing as fast as you're happy printing? If you have no issues with your current setup, I'm a big fan of stick with what you got if it ain't broke. Okay? If you're fine with your current print speeds, going to a Revo would be a direct upgrade. If you're trying to print faster though, Revo's not high flow yet. So. High temp gasket. Even high temp gasket isn't rated for those temperatures. Like 380C is bloody hot. Like I think that's close enough to melt. You can melt. I solder at 400. So you could run solder through this hot end at those temps. I'm actually kind of miffed this broke, so now I gotta fix it. I gotta print an whole new carriage. What do we got to print? We got to print 2 new. What am I going to print them in? Well, let me dry off the CF polycarbonate, and then we will print it tomorrow on this guy. Yeah, I got to plug that back in. Go. So I'll print some new PCCF mounts for this, so I can fix it at least. Can you get 1.75 millimeter solder? I'm sure you could find something close enough that'll work. People print with Weed Whacker line. I think that's like 1.6 mil. Which PCCF? Right now I'm using the bamboo stuff because I have some and I might as well use it. I have some Prusament PCCF, but we're saving that because we're going to print parts for the upcoming salad fork, which Steve is starting a salad fork build tomorrow. He self-sourced his, I believe, most of it. I'm building a DFH kit, and I will be building mine later. I'm waiting on the kit to show up, and there might be another build taking place first. Depends on what shows up first. Although, the one that I'm waiting on is cooler. Maybe. So. Did I update Super Slicer? Probably not. What are your thoughts about the BTT EBB cam? How many boards? Okay. BTT EBB CAN bus. Oh, I got one of them. Well, I've got the Fly Mellow variant, which the so the current plan is I have the Fly Shit 36, which is basically what Big Tree Tech copied. Literally, it's like it's literally the exact. I can't hit the right. Like the connections are in exactly the same spot. So, good job, Big Tree Tech. Way to be creative. Don't worry, whatever Big Tree Tech makes, it will be obsolete in 6 months because they'll run out of chips to make it and they'll have something new anyways. So this is going in salad fork. But I also have a Fly Shit, and I call them, everyone calls them Fly Shit because it's Fly SHT. The square one. This one will eventually make its way into V226 because V226 needs a gantry rebuild and an upgrade to MGN 12 at some point. So we're gonna update the gantry. We're gonna go to the stealth burner, production stealth burner. I'm gonna stick with actually no. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the LGX though. Or I might put an LGX light. I'll figure it out. But yeah. Yeah, the SHTs came first. Yeah, Big Tree Tech is second to these boards. Mellow came out first with them. EBB ships with salad fork. Oh! Okay, then I'll use that, and I'll put that in something else. Thought about putting a Pico in my V01. How do you like your Pico? Works fine. EBB flips plus and minus around. Yeah, always follow the docs. Wow, stealth burner. Where have you been? It's been released for like over a month now. You cut down 1 meter of maker beam extrusions for your salad fork? Oof. Okay. So yeah, so I guess the salad fork comes with the EBB, so I'll just use that then. Why is salad fork or Micron over V01? Because why not? That's pretty much it. Those The printers for ants printers are not practical printers. They are not. They are not meant to be. They're fun to build machines for people who like building printers. My Micron is nowhere near practical. Compared to the cost to what you get out of a Micron compared to a V01 does not justify a Micron. It's got 7 bloody motors in it, and it's quad gantry leveling on a 120 millimeter bed. You don't need that. But it's cool. What's a salad fork? So what a micron is to a V2, and if you're curious what a micron is, that's me dropping stuff. This is a micron. This is what happens when you build a V2 using the components you would use in a V0. So 1515 extrusions, EMA 14 motors, etc. Okay. A salad fork is the same thing, but to a trident. So you build a trident using 1515 extrusions, EMA 14s, etc. But the build volume of the salad fork I'm building is 160, I want to say. It's bigger. Oh yeah, Steve is building a 120. I'm building a bigger one. I'm bigging the size up from it. Okay, so this machine is kind of cooked. So let's get you out of here. Whoop. Okay. Let's do some painting. Did I get the ULTEM to print? That is the closest thing to a print we got. Before the tool head ripped off. But Lightspeed, since you're back, there is a mod on Thingiverse for the beta stealth burner to run a mosquito, but I haven't seen a mod yet of the production version of the mosquito to run a stealth burner, or a stealth burner to run a mosquito. The Rapido. The Rapido is a really good hot end. It's a high flow or ultra high flow, whatever that means. Like, there is no industry standard for flow rates, by the way. Like, when somebody says, oh, this is a high flow, there is no, like, industry standard. It's just marketing. But I like the Rapidos because they use the same nozzles. You just use a V6 nozzle. So I have one paired up, a Rapido paired up with a 0.6 CHT, and it can push a shit ton of filament. So if you want to run, like, big fat nozzles, it's a good setup. If you plan on only printing with a 0.4, it's kind of pointless. But if you want to push like 0.8s or even bigger nozzles, a Rapido with a CHT nozzle is actually probably a pretty solid option. I have to ask before, any info on Revo hardened nozzles? Yeah, they're called Obsidian. I got one in that machine, and I got one in that machine. They work great. When will they be available commercially? I can't say anything other than soon. Before the end of summer, maybe. Anybody build a V0 Double Dragon? Somebody at Murph had a Double Dragon. That machine makes no sense because 120 millimeter bed IDEX. Where the hell are you gonna put your purge? But Like soon or soon? Soon. They've changed to obsidian. Get my obsidian nozzle. Just loading this with a crap ton of paint so that it dries thick. Fills up all the little crevasses, because trying to sand the bottom of a divot is annoying. Okay. That was the designer of the Double Dragon. Okay, yeah. Yeah, somebody had one there. So it's a suggestion for direct extruder for Ender 3 that runs clipper with linear rails. Don't buy an Ender 3. If you're gonna, I'm firmly of the belief, if you're gonna spend the money to upgrade an Ender right off the bat, like if you already have an Ender and you're looking for upgrades, okay. But if you plan on buying an Ender and then putting hundreds of dollars into it, just buy a better printer. If you're buying an Ender with the plans to upgrade it, just buy a better printer. Like, don't start off with a V-wheel bed flinger from China for $300, under $300. If you plan on upgrading it. If you plan on doing some small mods, yeah, go for it, but that's just my personal recommendation. But I haven't done any of those on an Ender, so I don't know anything to directly recommend. Sanding pens? Yeah, I just filled it with material. What's the red color used in the picture on the stealth burner? On the Voron website, let me take a look. It's probably KVP red. Where the heck is stealth burners? Probably KVP red, I want to say. I think that's KVP red. I'm not 100% sure. But it's sparkly, so I'm assuming that's KVP red. I think KVP red is sparkly. May not be, though. I can't remember. I have no idea. Not mine. KVP? Okay. When I hit home, all in fluid, home X, Y, and Z, correct? Should do nothing to the extruder step. Correct. It shouldn't do the extruder shouldn't do anything when you're home in X, Y, Z. It's not. Oh, what is it then? Oh, that's Sparta. Okay, so that's Sparta 3D red then. That's Sparta 3D red, which is. Oh, do I have any? I might be all out of Sparta 3D red. I am all out of Sparta 3D sparkle red. Shit. Oh wait, nope. Yeah, I got some right here. This stuff. Sparta 3D Sparkle Fluorescent Red. Although it might be their candy red. I can't remember. They got two reds. Kind of looks orange. Yeah, these cameras aren't exactly set perfectly for like lux levels and whatnot. Probably spent $800 on my damn CR10. Oh, why? Just get a bigger sunk cost fallacy. I swear, in 3D printing, there is no bigger sunk cost fallacy than people that drop hundreds into V-wheel bed flingers. It's not worth it. It is just not worth it. Oh, hey, Coda, you want to say hi? No, come on. Come on. Come here. There we go, puppy. Hey. Oh, there's a good boy. The camera not focusing. Let me focus the He wants a pet song. Oh, little boy. Did you enjoy the vacation? Did you enjoy the car rides? Okay, goodbye. What? Silly doggo. Ultim doggo shoes. What are your Sparta 3D ABS settings? Pretty much the same as all my other stuff. I printed a little bit hotter. I think I printed at like 250 or 255. In the bed at 110 first layer and 100 for afterwards. I printed hot. And I think I don't use as much fans. I think I use like 5% less fan than I normally do. Okay. So, this part I need to wash. It's too clean. By the way, I didn't texture this part. So sanding it to get it to, it didn't look like a printed part before painting it was an absolute pain in the arse. So much Bondo and sanding. And then there's still parts that I like see now that I'm like, shoot. I didn't do a perfect job and it's annoying me, but I'm hoping once I wash it all, I won't see it anymore. And it'll be something most people won't notice. But the fact that all these are textured, so it's like, print the part, sand it flat really quick because it's ABS and it sands really nicely. Hit it with the texture stuff, which gives it this nice little like cast look, I think. And it hides all the layer lines, and then you paint it and you're done. Like literally doing this part right here, including paint, I could probably do like 5 of these in the time it took to do this one part because I had to like actually sand it flat. Pouring resin on the parts so smooth. The problem with that is I didn't want to, you would lose some of the detail because you're like flooding it, right? Plus I don't really like playing, I try to avoid playing with resin, raw resin as much as I can. Just don't like it. Which one do I pick? I don't know exactly which one it is. You'd have to probably ask somebody on the Voron Discord, or whoever, if somebody's credited for the image. I don't know exactly which one it is. Buy all of them. They're all great colors. So, water, black acrylic paint. I think I got way too much water in there. I do. Oh, this was what I used to run. Yeah. I took this out because before I had this in there in Toasty, and this dragon was just falling apart. I stopped using dragons a while ago. I just don't like them as much. So yeah, you just take your wash and you just slather it over everything. And then let it dry for a couple minutes. Then dab off the excess. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I've done all these parts. There's a million different ways to do it. This is what I do, and I find it works for me, so I do it. Should we start taking bets on how long before you either dip your brush in the whiskey or take a drink of the wash? Uh, 2.4 Trident or V01 for your first forearm build. V0 do not build if it's your only printer. It's small. It's not practical for like for a daily driver printer. It's a good secondary printer or if you travel or whatever. And it's actually the most complicated of the Voron builds. 2.4 and Trident. Do you want the bed to move or do you want the gantry to move? Whatever you personally like, pick it because both machines print the same. It's the same gantry on both. It's just one of them that moves, one of them that doesn't. What whiskey? JP Weisers. paper towels over here. Pick whatever printer you want as long as it's a Trident. Yeah, Steve might be a little biased when it comes to his recommendations, unfortunately. This is way too thin. Normally I don't. This is way thinner than I normally do for this stuff. Paul McDonald, $10. Cheers. I clipped my diag pens on my 2209 driver's SKR for Marlin. What I need to put it back for Clipper. I have no idea. I haven't played with Marlin in years, so the modification to make it Marlin compatible to go back to Clipper, I have no idea. I'm having a hell time figuring out homing and curious. I'm having a hell time figuring out homing and curious if it could be it. Yeah, I have no idea. Don't fall. Easy peasy. Okay. Might be worth getting new drivers. Yeah, maybe, I have no idea. But having the hot end parts printed at peak by a service bureau. Again, this was an impromptu, just kind of winging it and seeing how it goes type thing. I don't plan on printing this stuff a lot. Like, I'm not gonna buy Ultem or Peak or any of this stuff. Like, I don't plan on it. I don't need to. This was just, hey, let's try printing it on a normal printer, see what happens. And what happens? It fails catastrophically and the prints look like poop. So, unless you have a machine meant to print this stuff, don't try printing this stuff. Do you want the rangefinder? Sure. Do I have a Sparta code? I do not. I use Polymaker ABS in your builds. I have not. None of the printer builds. A lot of the Mando armor has some Polymaker in it, but I've used like every brand in the Mando armor because I went through like 10 kilograms of this stuff. So I've got Replitech, I've got Polymaker, I've got a lot. Ah, dang it! I didn't spray. I missed one area with the. Oh, you'll never notice that anyways. Yeah, if you message me on Discord during a stream, I don't see it because I have stream. Discord is in stream mode when I stream, so it's like I don't see alert. Like, oh, I do get the alerts, I just don't hear them, and I don't get any notifications or anything. Will I ever build a K3? Maybe. If they get a kit for it, maybe one day I'll build one. You gotta understand, at the point I am now when it comes to 3D printing and my like YouTubing career, any print, like, I have more printers than I will ever personally need for personal use. Let's be honest. So if I'm building a printer in the future, it's for the channel and it's pretty much a business expense at that point. So certain machines, because of the cost and whatnot, I gotta wait. I gotta wait till it's, you know, practical or viable for me to do it. It really comes down to a bunch of things. From when? This is all I got for room, so not too soon. Polymaker ABS smells. I wouldn't know. I can't smell ABS anymore, so. Like, apparently Ultem stinks. I didn't smell a thing when that was printing. My sense of smell is like euchred. Like, I don't really have a sense of smell when it comes to like filaments and whatnot. It's just, it's gone. To be fair, Ultem printed for less than 30 minutes. This is true. This is true. What are our numbers at right now anyways? What did we peak at? Wow, we peaked at like 500 something people. Wow, that's surprising. Cool. What are we at right now? 373. And only 262 likes. Is the smash button broken? Oh well. Somebody, oh, we captured moment of failure. This is what happens when you try to print. Nope, nope. Refresh. It has not lifted yet. It's the camera. Yeah, this is alerting. This is what happens when you try to print stuff on a machine that's not meant to print it. And we're just having fun. Like, if anyone here is taking this super seriously and you have a notepad out and you're taking down notes on how to print Ultem on your Voron, you're doing it wrong. Doing it wrong. Cancel. I love that. Speaking of doing it wrong, cancel. I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. It has not lifted yet. I absolutely love. Yeah, this is alerting. This is what happens when you try to print stuff on a machine that's not meant to print it. And we're just having fun. Like, if anyone here is taking this super seriously and you have a notepad out and you're taking down notes on how to print Ultem on your Voron, you're doing it wrong. Speaking of doing it wrong. Oh, look at it. It dug into the PI there. It dug into the PI there. Oh. That was fun. That was fun. That was fun. Who was that? Paul Lawson clipped it. Second best Nero GIF. I love how I was in the middle of a rant too when that happened. That was funny. That was funny. Filament stories just well. Yeah, have fun. So also, another good reason why you don't leave your printer unattended when printing new materials, especially high temp materials. Class, today we are all learning all the things. Can a Voron be more heavily modified? Here's the thing. You can buy metal parts kits. You can buy high temp motors. You can buy high temp belts. There are ways, yes, that you could build a Voron to print ULTEM. But the machine wasn't designed with that in mind, so you have to go above and beyond than what the machine's originally designed for. So you can go with like a metal printed parts, or metal printed parts. You can go with metal machined parts for the gantry and the carriage and whatnot. There's all chamber heaters and whatnot. There are ways that you can make people print ULTEM on heavily modified V-wheel bed flingers that are barely an ender anymore. You can modify any printer to print ULTEM. So the question is this the best design for a machine that you want to print ULTEM on? And is it worth the costs to print an ULTEM? For example, you don't print ULTEM fast, okay? You don't. So why would you use a Core XY? Core XY is a motion system meant for fast printing. It's why you build a Core XY, it's fast. So why would you build a Core XY with really long belt runs to print slow in a high temperature environment? Like, you have to think about those things. Like, it's not just, you know, oh, I want Voron print ULTEM. Yes, you can build a Voron to print ULTEM. People have done it. But is it worth it when you can go another route? More simpler printers that are much more that make more sense cost-wise. So, there's always, oh, well, NASA made a Lulzbot print ULTEM. Or Peak or whatever. Yeah, and they also use like lamps from like a McDonald's heat, like heating the hamburger patties, those heat lamps. Like there are ways to do pretty much anything with a 3D printer. They're 3D printers. People hack the hell out of them. That's kind of the point of a 3D printer. Everyone loves the open source. But does it make sense to do it, is the question. Modify a Voron for 285. That makes no sense. Why would you do that? Nobody does 285 filament anymore for a reason. Like, where did the part go? Yeah. So I came back from Earth. This is a ULTEM. Is it ULTEM or Peak or PEC? I think it's PEC. I think it's PEC. This is a PEC or Peak. Or ULTEM, I don't know. It's the high temp shit. That's like $400 a spool. Motor mount for a V0. Now, why would you print a motor mount for a V0 out of this material unless you plan on doing high temp shit? So obviously people do it, but is it worth it? Also, we had to I threw this at the ground with the force of 1,000 suns. To actually break it, because nobody could break this by hand, and a lot of people tried. Yeah, watch me turn this simple. Exactly. So now we're gonna get another stream of content while we this mess here. So. See, right now I would play the front fell off clip, but I probably would get copyright strike, so I'm not going to. But I would play the front fell off. What time is it? What are we gonna do? We still got half an hour. What are we gonna do for half an hour, guys and gals and people? Damn, Ultimate View made me use 0.01% of my power. Oh, geez, Scoob. Bork your printer with a simple trick. Why don't you set up that little King Rune KP3S to print Ultim? It's all metal. Got no printed parts. If you put it in a warm enough environment, it might. The bed probably, they would need an all new hot end assembly and a new bed. What color should I do my 250 Trident? Neon green and hot pink with some brown accents. Yeah, go with that. Order faster death ray. I'm building a Death Racer Pro. I got the brushed motors. Whatever, not brushed. Or yeah, they are brushed. I'm doing a Death Racer Pro. Believe me, a credit card has already been hit by it. So. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and consider becoming a member of the channel, because that thing's gonna cost a little bit. And I got everything ordered for the Pro. I have to order like the normal stuff still, but like some of the stuff I had to order from like AliExpress, and I hope it shows up in time, because Sam Prentice is based in the UK, so a lot of his like sourcing is UK companies which have stuff in stock. I live in Canada. Not everyone ships to Canada. Those that do are pricey, and some stuff that like ended up costing me like double. Like the gear reduction for the motors is like a 1 to 5 gear reduction or whatever it is. Yeah, they cost me like those two cost me like $100. So, yay Canada. Oh yeah, a water-cooled tool head would have not solved this problem at all. Like, we didn't have an issue. Like, where's it at? The hot end, this assembly right here is perfectly fine. This was not the issue at all. So air cooling was perfectly fine. Water cooling really only makes sense if you're in a heated environment. Like, if your chamber is actively heated and is like hot. Like this chamber, I don't think this chamber won't get above 70 C, which, you know, a Mosquito with its good cooling design is fine with air cooling, especially with a hot material like Ultem. Water cooling would not have saved this at all. And personally, I don't like water above high voltage or mains beds, so. What failed? Let me open the door here. The heat sets failed. So inside here, the heat sets, okay, the heat set inserts pulled out from the carriage. So what happened is, if you look at the Mosquito is a fat tool head. It is what it is. It's a fat hot end. So this block here gets really close to these screws that go through here, and then it transfers the heat into the heat sets, and it pulled them out. The tool head constantly bumping against an Ultem part probably didn't help. Stealth burner would have solved this. No, wouldn't have. Stealth burner has the screws in roughly the same position. It would not have solved this. What temps? 380 on the hot end. So a little warm, just a little. Peak screws. I don't think peak screws would solve this issue. Hot end fans and afterburner and stealth burner. For hot end, yeah, they're 4010 fans. Stealth burner screws aren't exposed. This is true. Are they? I can't remember. I don't have a production stealth burner on any of my machines. No, they're not. Stealth burner doesn't support mosquito, and this machine has a mosquito because it's at the temperatures we're printing at. It's actually really the only hot end I trust. I don't trust the Dragon at those temps. Aluminum tape. That could have been something. I do have the gold foil tape. So I could technically like put like gold foil around it. That might help. I don't know how well it would stick. I'd be worried about it coming in contact with the hot end and maybe burning. But yeah, those screws get really close to that. ULTEM-1010. Yeah, so this is ULTEM-1010. So this is the same stuff we're trying to print. Like, this is ULTEM-1010. Oh, relax, Coda. Where are my gloves? Ah, there. Oh, yeah, Mandalorian gloves. Nope, don't fall over. So this is ULTEM-1010. Okay, this is an already broken piece of ULTEM-1010. Trying to break it across its thinnest piece. Like I'm trying to break it literally across that thin part. So this shit is strong. Like, if you're curious how strong ULTEM is, like, we passed this unbroken piece around at Murph. Nobody could break it. Like, I literally had to just smash it into the ground, into the concrete to get it to shatter. This part also costs like $5. Strong stuff for Peking Hurl. Why not booth? So yeah, I had to get gloves so I don't. Yeah, manual gloves. Just the wrist laser. So yeah, so I'm going to print once the filament, I'm going to let that dry overnight. Once filament's dry, I will replace this, and probably that's what we're going to be doing Tuesday, is fixing Toasty now. Why don't I test the Dragon? Because at not ULTEM temps, it's already failing. See filament oozing out of it. The block is also off-gassing a white material, and I don't know what that is. There's like this powdery white stuff on everything. So, more content, exactly. All the content. So, you know, while we're killing time and I'm drinking because we got nothing else to do, make sure you enter for your chance to win some Polymaker filament. Link in the description. Industrial. Yes, Industrial printer, like, it's Ultem. If you're printing something that costs $400 a spool, you should probably be printing it on a machine that is kind of meant for that. We try the Wham Bam Mutant or the TH3D multi-mount on any printer? No. Those multi-tool head systems, I don't really see an advantage of doing them personally. I don't like machines, like, for when it comes to like CNC machines and 3D printers all-in-one combos, don't eat where you poop. So machines that like are subtractive manufacturing don't do the same thing as additional or additive manufacturing. It just makes a mess. So, like, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. If you make a machine that has to do everything, it usually is not good at everything. It usually is okay. So, I see no point on adding extra mass to my tool head and shifting my center of gravity outward just so I can change tool heads. Like, if you want printers for different things, just put a Revo, because you can easily swap the nozzle in 2 seconds. So I see no real point to those systems, really. It's a very niche thing, and I do not need that. Tuesday stream fix Toasty, Friday stream print Ultem, rinse and repeat. So, okay, that reminds me. Story time. So for those that know, I used to work in a tool shop that built plastic injection molds. So I won't say what companies are involved here, but this is a company that makes cars, okay? I'm not going to say which company, but this is a company that makes cars. So they came out with a new car, and they got a company that had previously done small molds for them to design a big mold for them. How big of a mold? Well, the front fascia of this car, and this car has a really big front fascia. So companies way in over their head, behind schedule. They design the tool, they build a tool. It fails horribly. And by how horribly? Normally, when a part is shot on a mold, a robot, like a fascia, the robot comes in, grabs the part, it comes out. Usually on some of the better plants, there's another robot arm that cuts off all your runners. Sometimes there's a little torch, it flames all the edges just in case there's little bits of flash. It goes on a conveyor belt. As it goes down the conveyor belt, it cools. It goes, sits for a bit, and then you go into the paint booth and it gets painted. These parts required 7 to 8 hours of hand work before they were ready for paint each. That is not good at all. Also, reasons for that is because this machine was so horribly designed under injection molding pressure, which is thousands of pounds per square inch. Stuff moved. Slides moved in like 40 thou, and stuff shifted. And also, this machine crashed. Like, hard steel on steel crashed constantly. So what ended up happening was, obviously, this company took the mold from the company and gave it to our company and said, hey, this car is for sale right now. We need parts. So what we would do is we would throw the tool in a press, run parts. We are not a production shop. We are not set up to run production, but we did. The parts would go into trucks that would then drive across the border for a lot of time to go to the plant where the parts were supposed to be run at, so they can actually put them in cars. So we would run the tool until it crashed. Then we would pull the tool out of the press, rip the tool apart, fix it, do some design changes that the engineers cooked up to try and get the machine, actually the tool, working properly, slap it all back together, and then we put it back in the press, and then run parts until it crashed again. And then we would pull it out of the parts, or pull it out of the press, rip the tool apart, fix what broke, do some changes to try and get it more reliable, put the tool back together, and then back in the press. And this happened over a couple weeks to a couple months until the tool got to the point where it was stable, finally shipped to the customer. And then the customer was like, hey, can you just build us a brand new tool from scratch with a new design so we don't have to deal with this piece of shit anymore? So yeah. And no, I won't name the company. I won't even give hints because that's probably something I really shouldn't. Although I will say I'm not under any NDA or anything, as far as I'm aware, so I don't think they could say anything. And it's ancient history at this point, so I don't think it's a big deal. But yeah, so that was the thing I had to deal with. That's why cars cost so much. They're all built in Mexico and China now anyways. But yeah, usually the parts that come out of an injection mold don't need any handwork. These needed 7 to 8 hours of handwork, like getting them ready before they can even be painted, before they can go on your car. And these cars weren't cheap. So I don't live very close. I live in Windsor. I'm close to the big three, all of them. And Windsor has a massive injection molding company. We did tools for pretty much every automotive company you could think of. So the Edge I'm driving was made in Oakville. Yeah, it's actually, so another tangent. For those that don't know, I was on vacation all last week. We drove to Quebec. So I did like 2 long drives, and then we also did a little jaunt into Quebec City from where we were. So that was like a day trip. So we drove probably 3,000 kilometers over the trip. The Edge I have, so I have a Ford Focus. Ford put a really crappy transmission in it. I got a 10-year warranty on it. 9 years and 10 months of ownership later, transmission goes. So because it's so many, I'm going to be waiting months for a new transmission control module. Then I get a loaner vehicle, I get a rental, free of cost until it shows up. Yay, warranty. So I'm in a Ford Edge Titanium right now, as a loaner vehicle, which I don't have to pay for. It's great. I just got to put gas in it. But anyways, this was the first time doing any sort of commute, like long trip, where I had a modern vehicle with like all the new shit. So like I got my car got cruise control. I got a backup camera. That's all I need. This thing had the Ford Copilot 360 or whatever it's called. So it does lane keeping, and not like it bounces you between the lane. No, it keeps you right in the middle of your lane. And you set cruise control, and then it also will like keep a distance from the car in front of you and adjust your speed for that. Holy hell, that shit is awesome when you're doing a long drive, because like you literally just turn it on, set your speed, and you just kind of keep one hand on the wheel, and you just kind of you don't have to constantly adjust your speed or constantly, the wheel just kind of keeps you in the middle of the lane, and you just coast in. When a car pulls in front of you, you automatically slow down, and when they move. It is so nice. So nice. Like now I'm like, shoot, well now if I get a car, this is the problem with having this now. I got to go back to the crappy Focus whenever, they fix it. So I'm like trying to think of, do I want to get a new vehicle, and do I want this? Because it's nice. Set speed, set distance, and keep attention on the wheel. And yeah, so I still drove. So like it's not like the Tesla autopilot. No, like I don't like the Tesla autopilot because I think that's too hands off. I like this. You still have to drive because driving the 401, it's always under construction, so it doesn't pick up the lanes all the time. But I felt so much less tired than I normally do after a long commute because I wasn't constantly doing all the little adjustments. It just I let the car deal with it, and it like I still drove, like I still paid attention to everything. Like I wasn't brain off, but brain didn't work as much. So when I finished the 10-hour drive, the 1,000-kilometer commute, I didn't feel as tired as I normally do. My legs didn't hurt like they normally do. Like I felt a little bit better than I normally would after a commute like that. So hocus pocus, you no longer want your Focus. Problem is, I also enjoy not having a car payment. Considering, I'm self-employed and working for YouTube now, working for you guys. Not having a car payment is great. Because, I took a week off. I lost a quarter of my income for last month. So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of new vehicles have the lane assist, super cruise control, Copilot 360, whatever it's called. It's really nice. Self-driving is possible. No computer is dumb enough to properly calculate. Here's the thing with self-driving, okay? And a lot of people, I think, don't realize this. They don't have to be perfect. They just need to be better than a human. So, for example, I foresee long-haul truck drivers that do commutes that are named mostly highway will probably get automated out relatively soon. Because the moment they can do that better than a human, humans are gone. Because why would you have a human when you can have the truck drive 24/7 from A to B? It just has to be better than a human. Well, they're not safe. Well, you know, truck driver who's trying to cut, you know, save hours and runs through a red light and takes out a hockey team. Like, human drivers screw up all the time. Like, I live Southern Ontario. There's a stretch of the 401 here that is flat AF, and the trucks crash all the time on it. So. We do more than... Oh, I know. Believe me, I worked in a tool shop. I was friends with the truck driver at our tool shop. There is a lot that goes into a truck driver, okay? But I can see long haul, like, from, you know, basically from, like, warehouse to warehouse, where you just... Truck goes from one big warehouse on a highway all the way to another warehouse on a highway. And it's just highway driving the whole way. That I can see get automated quicker than like the guy who does like specialty pickup and driving through towns and like all the niche stuff. That will probably still always be human. But like the long haul, basically turning trucks into trains on the road. Cars should have zero automation. It's not going that way though. The thing is, you can always say what you want, but you have Bob's Trucking and you have Smith Trucking, okay? Smith Trucking is all about the high-tech shit. Bob's Truck, it's a family man, family company. Smith Trucking invested in the robot trucks when they first came out because they were finally approved and they cost money. But now Smith Trucking, their trucks can run 24/7. They don't need to have pensions. They don't need to have rest breaks. His trucks are running all the time. So he's able to do more with the same vehicles. Whereas Bob Trucking with the family, man, well, his truckers need breaks, his truckers need wages, his truckers. So Smith Trucking is now cheaper. Well, Company C doesn't care. Company C just got bought out by a foreign investment firm set in the States. They just want to save money. Are they going to go with Bob Trucking? Or are they going to go with Smith Trucking? They're going to go with the cheaper one. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's shitty. Believe me, it's shitty. I worked for a company that got bought out by a foreign investment firm that just slashed all the costs to try and make more money. It's shit. Believe me. And by foreign investment company, I mean an American company because I'm Canadian. But it is what it is. People are, the moment something is cheaper and better, they're going to go with it. It's really crappy, but it is what it is. Because you can't force a company, especially a publicly traded company, because publicly traded companies are beholden to their shareholders to always increase profits, pretty much. So if the company goes, yeah, we could have made more money, but we went with human trucks instead of robot trucks, then the shareholders are going to go, why didn't you go with robot trucks? They are cheaper. They make us more money. You are out as CEO, new CEO in, who will go with the robot trucks. It's crappy, but it's business. Stock market is the devil. It is. See, this is now a Hassan stream. My company's about to take... Is Tesla finally coming out with the trucks? Those trucks are going to be so good for point to point. The shareholders should be... The problem is the shareholders aren't. Everyone loves to think everything's all lovey-dovey and save the trees and whatnot, but they're not. Billionaires are not billionaires because they give away their money. They're billionaires because they're greedy mofos. Sometimes it seems like they cut costs. Oh yeah, my company's a prime example of that. I don't work for them anymore. I literally said screw this and quit, and through, you know, I went full-time YouTube on a whim, just because I hated my company so much, because they literally drove it into the ground, and they lost a good chunk of their skilled workforce. People all left because they cut everything. They cut everything, and they started running the company like shit to try and make more money. and everything went to shit. But they're still holding on because they are. Try a truck with computer driving it. I've driven down the 401 next to trucks that I was deathly afraid of, and they had a human in it. Like, when you're driving down the 401 and the truck in front of you is literally swerving halfway into the other lane and then swerving onto the shoulder and then going back to the middle, and you're just waiting for the third lane to open up so that you can completely get ahead of this guy, because he's literally almost hit 2 cars, and when you drive by him, it's some guy with a headset on just chatting away, not paying attention. Yeah, I would trust a robot over a human at that point, because my car stayed in the lane the whole time. Quit your job yet? Oh, I've been, yeah. I took a month, I took February off, and I officially quit March 1st. I have been full-time YouTube since March 1st. So as at my previous job, I did a lot of loading and unloading of trucks as part of, I was the off-shift supervisor. So I was a supervisor on the afternoon shift. So I loaded and unloaded a lot of trucks. And the amount of low-skilled drivers is surprising. Like, when you put a 40,000-pound mold on the back of a truck, and then the driver just kind of looks at you and goes, how many chains do I need? And you go, it's 40,000 pounds. You should know what your gear is rated for and how many you need. And they still look at you and you go, chains are 10,000 each. So put like 5 or 6 and you're good. And they're like, oh, okay. And they all have headsets, and what it is, they all call into a chat room. They're all basically chatting to each other on headsets constantly. At least the ones that I saw. So it's not that they were texting. They were all just in a chat room together, just talk, because they would talk still while I'm trying to like load and unload them. They just have their headsets and they're just constantly talking. So yes, I got my tools. One chain, just one chain. If they catch you on your phone, first offense. Yeah, not all. Okay, not all trucking companies are run that well. Okay, there are a lot of really shady, really cheap trucking companies. Like, when trucks show up and like half the truck is held together with zip ties and it's a rust bucket, and you're about to put a tool worth $1 million on it that's 80,000 pounds and it's about to go across the country to California. Yeah, it's sketchy. So when it came to chains, anytime a truck driver asked me how many chains they would need, I would look over, because they hang the chains in the same spot in the truck, and I would be like, all of them, just put them all. And I would watch there as a guy put like 10 chains on a mold that weighs 2,000 pounds. Project Farm, I'm going to try one chain and check the next brand. Oh yeah, there's, just remember, just think how dumb the average person is, and remember, half the people are dumber than that. Or how bad the average driver is, half the people are worse. A little bit of trolling. So there were a few truck drivers I really liked. Like, it's really shitty, but before the company got bought out, we always used the same companies for when it came to trucking, for contracting, for moving stuff around. So I would always see the same drivers, and they were good. Like, they were guys, they knew their shit. You're buddies with them. Like, you know, I didn't know their names, but like I seen them, you know, once or twice a month, and they knew me and I knew them, and we, you know, shoot the shit and have a good time. And like, these guys, they knew what they were doing. Once we got bought out, random trucking companies all of a sudden, all the time, instead of like the regulars, because the regulars cost too much, so they always went to the lowest. And we would get the most sketchy people all the time, and a lot of it would be like dual drivers. So because they would have 2 drivers, so that one guy could sleep and one could drive. But usually what I noticed was you would have the older guy did nothing, and the younger guy did all the work. And I'm assuming the younger guy drove all the time too, from like how tired the young guys always look. But like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I build farm equipment, we don't even let the driver chain stuff down, sometimes because we kind of have too many issues. So our rule was we weren't allowed to chain the load down, because if we chained the load down, we would be liable if something went wrong. So we would say, hey, don't put chains in certain areas because you could damage stuff, especially if you're shipping a mold that's open, because it's like it's too heavy to go on one truck. So you open up the tool, and obviously you got mold face up there. You can't put a chain over mold face. So we would point out, hey, don't do this, but we wouldn't chain anything down, because if we chained something down and something went wrong, we would be liable. So we weren't allowed to. But yeah, the sketchiest thing I seen was I put a mold on a truck. So the truck pulled in, it already had something loaded. The guy didn't know anything about chaining stuff down. Like, I had to show him how to use his chains. Like, the guy didn't know how to use his chains, like how to properly like chain stuff up. And I'm looking at what he had loaded on his truck already. The dude had 2 Rolls-Royce jet engines valued at $24 million each already on his truck. Like, literally, they were Rolls-Royce jet engines in like the actual container and everything. And I'm like, do you chain those in? Like, oh, I didn't do those. The company did those. Like, when they put them on and they chained them down, I wasn't allowed to touch them. I'm like, and you're being trusted with those? You can't even chain down a tool that weighs like 3,000 pounds? I'm like, I took a lot of pictures of that truck before it left, just to cover my ass. They are big. They are. Basically, they were in like these big boxes, and they took up the whole front of the truck. Like 2/3 of the truck with jet engines. Language barrier. Yeah, they're. I worked in a call center doing insurance for a couple years, and a lot of our market was the GTA area. So I'm pretty good at understanding a lot of accents and bad English. So I can understand it fine. But yeah, we had a lot of people where English was a barrier. Oh no, I worked with a music dad. I worked with there were a lot of very good truck drivers that I worked with, and that was before the buyout, because we had like our company used good companies and had good drivers, and I would see the regulars all the time, and they knew their shit, and they were good folks. It was when our company got bought out and they started getting the cheap guys and the sketchy guys. That's when I really started getting the heebie-jeebies. You ever watched Ice Road Truckers? See. And they're legally responsible. Oh yeah, you're always, if a rock breaks your windshield, like if it flew off a truck in front of you, that is an unsecured load. Go after them. Get your money. Oddest accent I ever heard: East Indian and Texan. Ooh, yeah, we had a lot of Indian. Yeah, yeah. Ice Road Truckers. Yeah, I would never do that. Being in a truck over ice, no, forget that. Nope, no to that. There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna do this again because this is way too thin. Do that in the morning. But not the fullest training. No, so our shop, you had to like. To get in, you had to like drive up and then in. But what you would do is you would drive up around the shop, then you would back up, and then you would come into the trucking bay. Okay. The problem is I would tell drivers, they would show up, and I'd be like, okay, pull behind the building, then back up, and then come straight in. Because if you tried to come like up and then turn right into the building, most trucks couldn't make the turn. Okay. Unless you had a short wheelbase truck, you couldn't make the turn. Okay. So you had to pull around the building, which was a wider turn, and then you back up straight, and then you pull straight into the building. And I would tell people, pull behind the building, back up, and then pull straight into the building. And then I would open the door, and then I would go back to doing what I was doing, because I was working on stuff, and I would wait for them to pull in the building. And then I would go over 20 minutes later when the truck isn't in the shop, and I look, and they're doing the Austin Power thing, trying to make the turn. And I'm like, pull behind the building, back up, pull straight into the building. Oh, okay. Ben, so I joined late. Did the ULTEM print? As you can see, the front fell off. Go on my Twitter at 3DPNero. If you are curious as to what happened, I have a nice clip here. Paul Lawson clipped it. So as you can see, the front fell off. You're doing it wrong. So So no, the Ultem, well, actually the Ultem did print. We got this, and we got this. So we got these two prints, and then the front fell off, and that was it. It's not supposed, yeah, you know, most are built, but obviously this one wasn't, so the front fell off. It has not lifted yet. It did push plastic out of the nozzle. So by definition, it did print. If I was recording a video at the right time, I could have got a serial for this machine, which I think this machine has a serial. Does it? I don't know. Did I strength test them? Stronger than most one-layer prints. Am I gonna do a clear coat? I might. I did notice one of the gauntlets already, some of the paint is kind of chipping off from where it was rubbing on the gauntlet. So I might clear coat them, I might not, we'll see. Oh, the video's still playing. Oops. There we go. Thing is, I have my computer is quieter because I got the headphones in for the music, so I have it like at a low volume. Why didn't I become an engineer? Because I didn't go to university. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't go to university. I went to college. I got my mold making ticket, so I got a skilled trade ticket. Well, I don't have it right now. It's not active. I got my ticket and then I never renewed it. Because screw paying a yearly fee when you work at the same company and it doesn't matter if you got your ticket or not anyways. I became an Engifar. So I finished high school. I had no idea what I was going to do. I'm 34, so I finished high school in 2005, 2006, I think. Did a year of civil engineering in the college, realized that wasn't for me. Did a year of police foundations to be a cop, which cops in Canada get paid good money. Speaking to a recruiter made me realize not really. I like going home from work and not bringing it with me. So there was that. I also spent 6 years Army Reserves, Canadian Forces. If you do ever plan on playing in the Army game, don't go infantry. Go something that when you leave, you can actually put something on a resume other than, ooh, team building and leadership. You know, because you can't put, you know, oh, I'm qualified in the M203. That doesn't look good on a resume. They don't care about that. Or, hey, I'm C6 heavy gunner or lightweight or tripod like night gunner or whatever the heck my calls were. But yeah, go something like AVN tech or, you know, trucker or something where you actually learn a skill and you don't break your knees and your back. So anyways, I did that. I was an insurance broker for a while. Then realized I was basically working in office space in a cubicle farm for a very low wage. So I quit that. Buddy worked in a tool shop and he got me in. So I started skilled trades. So I started as an apprentice, worked in a tool shop for 7 years, and now I'm a YouTuber. Now I'm here. So yeah. Medically DQ'd from the Navy, wanted to go ComSec. Yeah, if anyone here plans on going military, think about your after military career. So if you want to go to the military, and I won't say don't do it, you know, I learned a lot of good skills in the way I carry myself and like rapport and, you know, timekeeping and, you know, so I'm not late for my streams that often. A lot of the way I am today is from the 6 years I spent in the CF. And no, I never served overseas. I never did a tour. I don't really go on about it often. Just something I did to kind of help find myself for a couple years. But if you do it, think about your after career. So if you plan on going in, go in for something that you can learn a skill that you could transfer to civvy life. Because, hey, if you're going to get paid, you might as well get paid to learn something. Now, while it is cool to shoot grenade launchers and machine guns and blow shit up, don't get me wrong, that shit is whack. It's awesome. It doesn't go on a resume. And walking around carrying a bunch of shit in the Arctic, it could suck. Sleeping in the rain sucks. Get a skill out of it. Don't you have a story when the Queen visited? I did ceremonial guard for a summer. So I wore the... If you went to Ottawa in, I want to say 2010. If you were in Ottawa, Canada 2010 and you saw the ceremonial guards, I was in there. I did that for a summer. I met the Queen back then. She looked older than she does on camera. She asked if I was having a nice day. I said, yes, Your Majesty. And that was it. I met the Queen. That's about it. Really short. You did some stuff at CFC. I was at LFCATC. Frickin' Meaford. Weather Control Station. Yep, I wore the big bearskin hat. And no, I won't show you a picture of it. There's a picture of it on my Twitter, I believe, at some point. I may have been drunk posting one night, so there may be a picture of it on my Twitter at some point. But I don't know when. Problem is the military can tell. See, okay, in Canada, it's different. In Canada, you sign up for what you want to do. So when I joined, I'm like, hey, I want to be infantry. Because in where I live, we had infantry, you had service battalion, and you had the Windsor Regiment, which is armored recce, recon for you Americans. Looking back, I probably should have gone armored recce or even service battalion because I could have, you know, not slept in the rain. But I went infantry because, you know, infantry. But you pick what you want to go in for, and then you do an aptitude test to see if you qualify for it. And if you don't qualify for it on the aptitude test, then you pick something else. So that's how it works in the Canadian Forces. Also, the CF, you can leave at any time. As a reservist in the CF, you can, like, when I was done, I was just like, we had summer leave. September rolled around, and I'm like, you know what? I've got a full-time job now. I'm working at a tool shop. I'm going to school 2 nights a week. I'm in a serious relationship, you know, engaged at this point. I ain't got time for this shit no more. So I literally just walked in one day. I'm like, hey, it was fun, but I'm done. Where's my release form? And I just signed and I was out. Turn in all my shit. You're done. Got the job I wanted. That's good. You can in the US. Okay, there you go. Air Force recommended. From my understanding, like getting into something like AVN tech was really Gucci for a while, because you do it for a few years, then you go work for like some airplane fixing company and make good money. But I've been out now since I got out in 2014, so I've been out for a while. Like I was in from 08 to 2014, basically. So I got in just at the end of Afghanistan, and I got out when the budget started getting slashed. One of the like we spent 3 parade nights in a row doing the exact same thing, and at that point I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. I would probably kick our asses. Probably not. Actually, I was a horrible fighter. I was I qualified marksman, so I figured I'd just take care of you before getting into fighting range. How's it going? Well, we've been drinking for an hour and a half because the front of the printer fell off. So somehow we still have 379 people here. I love it. Let me show you. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Okay. So here are the metrics for the stream in terms of viewers. Okay, did I show anything I'm not supposed to? Okay. So you can see here, this is where the front fell off. This is, you know, when we kind of started drinking and I started ranting, and we've been holding steady. So having a drink, Nero, ranting about stuff and telling stories actually does very good for my metrics. So that's how the Print and Chill Fridays kind of came about. I realized we could just turn a printer on, print, and just shoot the shit, and my numbers are still pretty good, and I don't really have to worry about content. So that's kind of Print and Chill Fridays is exactly that reason. So can we review why it fell off? Well, it's not because it's made out of cardboard. So that's good. I don't know where that heat set went. It's gone. I want to build a 0-1. Should I wait for a 0-2? 0-2 should be out relatively soon. I think they're just waiting on a manual. It's like a members stream. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got to do that. Oh, so again, oh, we're past 11. We'll do the draw whenever I feel like ending the stream today. We're going to run the stream late today, obviously. So don't forget, next Friday, so the Friday coming up is the community challenge. So if you haven't joined the community Discord, join the Discord. Link in chat should pop up there. So join the community Discord and then enter for the challenge. Print a benchy or paint a benchy or machine a benchy or do an interpretive dance of a benchy. I don't care, but somehow impress me with a benchy and you can win some filament and some merch. Is the bot running? It should be. It says it's running. I don't know. There's a link in chat or in the description. When peak 4 on? When the front stops falling off. Do I have Discord set up as a command on the bot? And then also, if you haven't entered yet for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, we give away a spool every stream. So make sure you're no, it should be working. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why the bot just doesn't like to work sometimes. Are plastic screws? I don't think so. Well, wasn't this the one? Well, yes, of course, but the front fell off. Like, it's obviously not designed to have the front fall off, but it's funny because the front fell off is actually kind of like a meme on the War on Discord with the dev team. So surprising how often the front falling off comes up. Okay, now the merch part is working. The front fell off, 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 the front fell off. There you go. I love how the last hour and a half have been references to that video. Exactly. I just love the fact that this ancient mosquito tool head still works just fine. It's just the carriage failed. So I got to figure out how to... Like, I have longer heat sets. I'm wondering if I can just go all the way through. No, because I would need a really long screw. I gotta figure something out. Make it work. Can I show the Sparta 3 fluorescent red? I don't think I... Do I have fluorescent red? I don't know. Is it fluorescent red? I got sparkle fluorescent red. Okay. The problem is the color probably isn't exact because of the lighting in this room. That's it right there. Go all the way through and have the heat. The problem is I would need like an 80mm screw for that to work. So it's not exactly easily doable. Did the ULTEM work? The front fell off. So no. Hydrogen. Hydrogen doesn't make sense for vehicles because you need energy to make hydrogen. So if you're gonna just stick with energy, either use gas, which is easy, abundant, and very energy dense, or use electricity. Why are you gonna use electricity to make hydrogen to burn it to create electricity or power? Like it doesn't make sense. Because you need so much electricity to make hydrogen, and you're going to lose power in the system. Every time you convert energy from one form to another, there's losses. So You need to generate electricity to make hydrogen, and you're losing energy in that process. And then you use the hydrogen to move your car. Just skip the hydrogen and use the energy to move your car. But there's still the waste from generating the hydrogen from the, instead of taking the electricity from the sun that's generated to make hydrogen and then burning that hydrogen, just use the electricity from the sun to power the car with a battery. Don't, why have the waste? My electric car uses more energy. Well, yeah, it's how it works. Like gasoline is energy dense as hell. It's great. You just fill it up and go, pff, done. Batteries waste. Everything has waste. Nothing is perfect. It's just what are the wastes acceptable. So waiting on Mr. Fusion. Exactly. We'll just wait on the Mr. Fusion, throw a cup of coffee in it, we're good. Use helium. No, there's no distribution network. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to build up a whole distribution. Like, there's only a couple hydrogen gas stations. Lithium mining. Every mining is bad for the environment. Go back to steam engine. Just go back to walking. Just walk everywhere. There's a reason there's bugs. Yeah, if I'm a big proponent of, if something worked, it would be more common. Like, oh, a big gasoline. No, if gasoline companies could sell hydrogen and make a shit ton of money, they would. But they don't. It's like car companies. If car companies can make money doing something, they would. Because people like money. If you could sell something and make money, you would do it. So if people aren't doing it, there's usually a reason. Use your feet. Yeah, just walk everywhere. Okay, so what time is it? It's 11:15. We'll end the stream at 11:30. We'll do it 11:30's close today. How many horsepower does a horse have? Isn't it like 2 or 3? Because a horsepower is based on like how much a horse used to be able to move in a certain amount of time or something. I can't remember. Yep, the heat set's pulled out of the carriage and the front fell off. So we need to fix that. One horse has 17 horsepower. Okay, so I've had, okay, somebody told me it has 15, 14.9, 17. Where are you guys getting your numbers from? The numbers, Mason, what do they mean? That's gonna be annoying to clean off. Yeah, it's just that one area. Where's my file at? Probably gonna have to use the orbital for this. Yeah, that ain't gonna work by hand. By the way, horsepower. Isn't kilowatt the preferred way of measuring like how powerful your car is? Because kilowatt's an actual thing. The original space shuttle. Why do I have to approve that message? The original space shuttle's booster width was set by the width of 2 horses' asses. Yep. It is amazing how many things are constrained. Same with the Humvee. The American Humvee is as wide as it is, so it could fit through train tunnels in Europe. Because the Humvee was meant to like move stuff from the back to the front of the lines, and it was, so they wanted to carry as much as possible. They made it wide enough that you could move it on through a train tunnel. And the train tunnel is as wide as it is because of 2 horses' asses. It's hilarious how much of the modern world is based upon 2 horses' asses. So for those that don't know what the 2 horses' asses is, back in Roman times or ye olde times, you would use 2 horses to pull your cart loaded with goods. You could use 1, but most people, I guess, use 2. And obviously the horses can only be so close together. So your cart would be based on how close together the horses were, and the wheels on the cart would be based on the cart. So everything would be based and scaled off of 2 horses' asses. Well, then the carts, that became the standard, and it carried on into modern times. So when they built train tracks, they spaced the train tracks the same as the carriage wheels or whatever, which were based off the horses' asses. And then so much stuff moves by freight and by train, it has to fit through train tunnels, it has to fit on train cars. It's scaled based on that. So like rocket boosters have to move on a train, and the train rail width is based on horses' asses. So, or mil-spec chariots, okay, whatever it is. But yeah, basically a lot of stuff is because of, well, we have to use the previous tech, and the previous tech is based on horses' asses down the line. My stealth burner white light is always on. Is that right? I don't know. I don't run LEDs in mine, so I don't really look at the config too much for that. But you should be able to change it. White is the default color, I believe. So if you don't set your G code in your slicer to have different color, like if you don't call out color changes, it won't change color. It'll stay white. Society ever regresses back to horses, we'll be okay. No, we won't. Holy heck, Tim, we are screwed. Okay, I remember as a kid there'd be like a show on History Channel where they would talk about like ancient aliens and like humans used to be a super advanced civilization. If we ever get knocked back to prehistoric times and then try to come back, we won't. Okay, we are completely screwed. If we lose all modern technology, we are at a severe handicap coming back. And not just because we got knocked back to modern, to prehistoric times. And if we did, something went really wrong if that happened. Think about it. If humans had to start over, if all of a sudden, boom, technology died, World War, whatever, aliens, all of a sudden we start over Stone Age. Where's all the easy to get minerals, oil, coal, copper, tin, bronze? Where's all the easy to get material, raw material? Where are we going to get that at? Like where's all those oil wells that used to dot, like that you dig down a couple feet and you got oil? Where's all that stuff? All the easy to get gold, the coal deposits at the surface that you can get at by hand. Where is all that stuff now? How are we getting all that stuff? Oh wait, we're digging with modern technology and drilling thousands of miles down with mines and shit. Yeah, we ain't doing that with stone tools. If we have to start over again, we are going to be severely screwed once we try to figure out oil and coal and stuff, because all the easy to get shit is gone. And that it doesn't, we don't got to wait a couple turns and it resupplies. No, that takes millions of years. So yeah, if we try to start over again, it's going to be a pain in the ass. Everything, all the easy to get minerals are gone. It's gone. Recycling. Unburn all the coal. So yeah, there are metals on the surface, but like all the big deposits and whatnot are gone, are used up. Like, all the easy to get at shit is gone. So Salt is still. Like, no Beverly Hillbillies are going to be shooting the ground and oil is going to be coming up. All the scrap. Yeah, aluminum's there's a reason aluminum cans are the only thing worth recycling. It makes no sense to recycle most plastics and paper. If it was, you'd get paid for it. But aluminum makes sense too because it's easier to recycle aluminum than it is to process raw aluminum. It takes less energy. Just deorbit some asteroids. Yeah, you know, Ugg in his stick will make space shuttle. I'm gonna rewatch. I just downloaded it. I gotta rewatch it again. I'm watching The Right Stuff, or no, From the Earth to the Moon. I gotta watch that miniseries again. Go to the junkyard, lots of metal. Well, it's not so much the metal, it's the fuel. All the easy to get coal, all the easy to get oil. We use a shit ton of oil. What are we gonna use for power generation? Trying to recreate a modern world without coal and oil, because we won't be able to get it as easily as we used to. Back in the day before we had technology where we can, drill offshore oil rigs and whatnot. I haven't watched Top Gun yet. See, the problem is I have a little kid, so I don't have the time to go see movies as much as I used to. Wood gas, biodiesel. How are you going to create biodiesel without modern technology? And create enough of it to supply the world. We didn't have. Soylent Green. Like, that's the thing. You need to think of something that's natural that you can literally create from nothing, because we have no modern technology that is a sufficient power source for everything. Wood to charcoal. Well, there's a reason we dug charcoal out of the ground. How are you gonna make tools? Exactly. Old farts, natural gas. Yeah, solar and wind. Oh yeah, solar and wind. Okay, how are you gonna make the metal to make the generator to put in the solar, or to put in the wind turbine? What? No, I'm okay. So fair in this hypothetical scenario, it's like all of a sudden, snap, humans are 5,000 years ago, but that's today. So all the resources we used up are gone. Like everything we've used to date is gone, but now we have to start over. There's aliens suddenly showed up. We lost horribly, and there's only like a couple million humans spread throughout the entire world, and that's it. We regressed once, we regressed again. There was the Toga eruption like 10,000 years ago, or no, 100,000 years ago, that drops humans down to 10,000 population. But the thing is, we were hunter-gatherers up until like 11,000 years ago, was it? 12,000 years ago? So anything that happened before that, it doesn't matter, because we didn't really change. We just were hunter-gatherers. We just kept hunter-gathering. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, we should have farms, and then now we're here. Remember, we went 66 years. 66 years from, hey, a guy flew a plane, to, hey, a guy's on the moon, in 66 years. Like, we did a whole lot of nothing for a long time before, hey, we should probably grow this stuff instead of constantly looking for it, and then we could build a house. And then, cholera, and dysentery, and all that fun shit. Hydropower. How are we going to build the dams and the generators and all the electronics to control them without modern technology? Then we stopped because there wasn't money in it. Beavers. Where do I gather my gluten-free tacos, vegan tacos? If we go back, I don't think the vegans are gonna make it too far. Water wheel. Well, then we're stuck in medieval times for a while. Like, that's the thing. We'd be able to get to like medieval times in that level of tech, but trying to have trying to redo the industrial revolution without coal and oil and like all the other easy to get minerals and material that help fuel the industrial revolution would be almost impossible if we had to do it again. probably lost a lot of shit in the Ice Age. But we were still hunter-gatherer. Because here's the thing. If society had ever, like, we used to be super advanced and we lost it. If we had, we would find evidence of that in terms of use of resources. Oil, gas, and whatever. There are no old, mysterious oil wells or open pit mines or anything that we can find. Like, as far as we know. So we've never gotten super advanced in the past. Maybe there was like some random society that did figure out agriculture before the agricultural revolution. They got wiped out in the thing, but we've never been advanced. Because there, you know, no, if we suddenly got wiped out and we came back, we'd be like, oh shit, there's no surface level oil or coal deposits and strip mining. Like, there'd be some evidence that there was an advanced civilization here for a while, you know, shit in space. But there's none of that. We used it all up now. It's ours. The prehistoric 3D printer. This hypothetical conversation has me stocking up on the world's gonna end. Gotta get my shit tickets. Mayans weren't that advanced. They were pre-industrial civilization. Like, they knew the stars really good, but then pyramids. But everyone knows pyramids. Like, you pour sand out of a cup, you get a pyramid. Like, the Mayans weren't that advanced. They were just another pre-industrial civilization. 2.5 minutes. Yep, we're gonna do the draw soon. So if you haven't entered for your chance to win Polymaker filament, you got 2.5 minutes. Link in the description. Metals are the easiest parts. Oils are used for a wide range of the energy and matter. That's the thing. It's powering an industrial route. Like, London used to be constantly covered under fog from all the coal burning. Powering all the heaters and the industry and whatnot. All the power and whatnot was all coal. From open pit coal mines. And, you know, easy to get at surface level coal. You wouldn't be able to do that if we had to start over, because all that easy to get at coal is gone. All the easy to get at mineral deposits are gone. All the easy to get at oil deposits are gone. Silicon, minerals, natural gas, all the easy to get at shit is gone. We used it all up. There's a reason we use offshore oil wells and drilling and mines and whatnot. So, could we get back? We probably could. You know, humans are pretty, you know, tenacious. But it will not be as easy. And the problem is, if it's not as easy, there's always a chance you slip and you have to start over. Tinfoil channel on the Discord. Nah, we do it live. This is what happens when the front falls off. The knowledge we have now, but that's you're assuming that we have this, you know, something that happens that's enough to wipe out humans to the point where we have to start over. Do you really think there's a good chance that, you know, Bob, who is an engineer and knows how to completely build a steam engine from scratch, survived? Or just the random, you know, people out in the middle of nowhere that happen to survive, and 3 generations later, their kids who barely know how to read, who don't even remember how to read, are now the ones starting from scratch? Like, it depends what happens. Like, if you know, libraries are still there and you can read up, okay, we might be a little chance. But if, like, it's all of a sudden we start over with no save state, we're starting from scratch, hunter-gatherers. Okay, rebuild modern civilization, go. Yeah, we're at a big disadvantage if we try again. How do we even get on this tangent? That's why we can't allow the mine shaft gap. We can't. Melt 1 printer. Something about horses' asses. Exactly, horses' asses. Speaking of horses' asses, let's give away some filament. No more responses. Create new spreadsheet. So while I'm copying this down, I hope you enjoyed the stream tonight. If you would like to support the channel, content I create, things I do, consider becoming a member of the channel, gifting some memberships, Goes a long way in supporting the content, allowing me to keep doing what I do, because apparently this is entertaining, because there's 370 of you here. And shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament that we give away every stream. If we keep our oh yeah, without like modern fertilizers and crop growth and all that, we'd be like, have you seen what corn looked like before we went and fixed it? It was fucked. Okay. So, 66 years was how long it took us to go from the Earth to the moon, or from a plane to the moon, or something. But 66 is too big a number. So give me a number between 1 and 6. And I know the people who entered too early. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, headphones are dying. Ooh. It's been a while. The headphones died. That's how we know this was a good stream. Wrong button. There we go. Okay, let's spin this and see who wins. That plane took 66 years to get to the moon. Okay, the winner of the filament is... I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Simon Matsuk... Sisman... Mats... Congratulations, person. You won yourself a spool of filament. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with a form you got to fill out, and you'll be able to get yourself some filament. I'm not going to try and pronounce your name. Congratulations, though. Golf claps in chat. Keep bumping that. So yeah, so that was the stream today. We tried to print some Polymaker filament, or not Polymaker filament. We gave away some Polymaker filament. Tried to print some ULTEM. It ended horribly. So for those that are thinking that you can just print ULTEM on your machine, don't. The temperatures are crazy hot. Most machines are not capable of doing it. Do not try to print ULTEM unless you have a machine that's actually capable of printing ULTEM. And then we ranted for a while and chatted. That's always fun. So for those that donated to the stream, became members of the channel, or gifted memberships, you're awesome. I would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create, without your continued support. You make it all possible. So shout out to you guys and gals and folks. Shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament that we gave away. We give away a spool every stream, so make sure you tune in to check out for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like the smash button, other YouTube stuff I'm supposed to say. Next week, next Friday, is the community challenge for benchies. Print a benchy, impress me, win some filament, win some merch. It's gonna be fun. So we'll do that next Friday. Tuesday we're gonna fix this guy though. And then what else? What else? I think that's about it. Yeah, we're gonna call it there. Saturday night. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you Tuesday. Cheers.